Hello FM3. I thought before doing the section on propulsion I would come out to the Museum of Flight and have a look. This has a long and interesting history, and in fact the first flight to America from the UK was from here in 1919. Adam, could you perhaps tell us a little bit about the museum, what you actually have here?
Yes, this is the National Museum of Flight for Scotland, and we have one of the best collections of both civil and military aircraft across Britain. There are about 50 or 60 aircraft to see here, and we have a wide range of associated objects such as the engines. We have a good selection of both piston and jet engines here. Obviously the star object, as you can see from behind me, is the Concorde. Concorde was the only ever successful supersonic airliner. There was a copy of it built by the Russians, but it was a copy, and they didn't get all of it quite right. Concorde was the, as I say, only ever successful jet airliner, going twice the speed of sound. If it had a failing, it was that it only carried 100 passengers, which is very small by today's standards, and ultimately it was the economics rather than any of the technology that grounded Concorde. As you can see behind me, we have a range of jet engines which really represent the development of the jet engine. If we look at the top, we can see jet engines as they were at the end of the Second World War, and they're most easily identified by the fact that there's an impeller on the front to force the air into the engine. As the development moved forward, we see jet engines more like this, where the air is feeding directly into the front of the engine, and finally ending up with what is really quite a modern jet engine, where we have the high bypass. So we essentially have the same as the older engine down the middle, but a greater volume of air being pushed round the outside, and that's as much to do with noise and fuel efficiency as to do with pure power. Here we are at the exhaust end of one of Concorde's engines, the Olympus. There would have been 4 of these on a Concorde. One of the unusual things from the civilian point of view is this ring in front of me here. The ring here was to inject extra fuel into the exhaust and give it an extra boost of power. Usually only seen on military aircraft. Concorde was the only civilian aircraft I know of that used this technology, and it made it a very powerful aircraft, but quite an inefficient one. At full power, this engine was using the equivalent of 33,000 litres of fuel an hour.